Hi guys, it's Kristen. I am here for my week 15 update, which actually feels a little crazy. I don't know, I keep thinking, am I really 15 weeks? Am I still 14 weeks? Did I miss a week? Maybe I'm 16 weeks. It just feels like a weird week. I think it's because I'm tired. I had a birth at the end of last week, which is a wonderful birth, and then some, catching up on sleep, and then the postpartum appointment that I went to, and then I just got done with my classes now, so my voice is a little, um, you know, gravelly from teaching for 2.5 hours. And so, anyways, and I'm kind of on the tired side here, and then we got a 4-H club meeting to go to in just a few minutes, but I'm trying to get this done beforehand. So I am 15 weeks, actually 15 weeks in a couple days at this point, and I'm feeling okay. Like I said, I'm feeling pretty tired. I actually feel like I'm struggling a lot more with nausea this week than I was last week. It's been kind of crazy. It's warming up here, which I do not want to knock because I'm so happy about it. There's no snow. We've had a lot of rain the past few days, but no snow. It's actually, except for the rain, it's been warm enough for the kids to go outside and play, which is super nice. But we get like tons of ladybugs whenever it warms up, which, I don't want to complain about ladybugs too much because it's not like they're flies or mosquitoes or anything icky like that. But we get tons of them and they come in the house. So like I'm in my bedroom right now. This is my window right here. And they'll like crawl across the window, and then my bathroom's over there, and they'll crawl over the bathroom window, but they come in and I guess they live for a while and then they die because they can't get out. And so there will be these little ladybug carcasses, and I see them, and it just makes me feel ill. So this morning I was like with the vacuum cleaner, just vacuuming up all these little crevices that they find to crawl into and, give up the ghost. It's just I'm like, ladybugs, can you please stay outside this year? Don't come in my house. But like, I feel like, seeing things like that has been bothering me more, and like I don't know that smells have been bothering me more, but just like eating has been a challenge. So I feel like the nausea has been like a bigger deal. And yeah, I think most of what's going on is like eating this week, symptom wise. It's like the nausea has been bigger. I'm still really tired. Like I can't believe that I can go to bed at like 9 or 9:30 at night and then sleep as late as I do in the morning. It's just crazy. I know last week I said I'd been successful at getting up early a couple of days, and then no more days that week. I was going to try it, one day, and then I got called to a birth in the night, and so I slept in quite a bit the next day, understandably, but then, I just haven't. Now this morning, and I'll talk more about this in a minute, I didn't get up quite as early as I wanted to, but I got up and I like hit my morning routine, which made me feel really good. So tomorrow morning I'm feeling like, as long as I don't get called out to a birth, I'm feeling like I'll be able to get up. And I feel like I'm getting enough sleep. It's just like it's never enough sleep, which I'm hoping that goes away. But that's typically been my biggest pregnancy symptom and sign. So, anyways, that's just how I'm feeling physically. The other thing is like I'm really struggling with eating enough. Like I feel like my appetite should be picking up at this point, and it's still hard. If I don't eat super early in the morning because we haven't gotten up early, then it ends up being like 9 or 9:30 when Scott makes breakfast. There's no way like I can eat a snack between then and lunch. Like I actually tried it yesterday when my snack alarm went off. I ate a snack, and I like literally was like really having to work at getting that food in. And then like at lunchtime, there was no way I could have eaten. I mean, I was on the way to a postpartum visit. So I just took a salad, like a chicken and apple salad with me. And I actually was able to meet one of my supervising midwives at the office. And then I rode with her. So I was able to eat in her car, by which time I had started feeling a little bit hungrier. And that worked. And then like by the time we got back from the appointment and everything, and we had some time to chit chat with another one of the students, I was hungry enough to eat like a snack. And then we got home, and Scott's birthday is this week, so we actually went out to dinner last night, and I got a steak and sweet potato fries and a salad, and that was really good. I was really hungry by the time we got there for that. But the steak, it's like a special, which is why we go on Monday nights. And the special is usually a smaller steak, but it was like a 10-ounce steak last night. I don't know why they decided to be generous, but I could only eat half of it, even though I felt like I was starving. So today Scott heated up that steak and scrambled eggs. So I had steak and eggs for breakfast. And man, that stuffed me. There was just, I did get a snack after that. But then like lunch, like I had to nurse my lunch. Seriously, y'all. It was so hard to eat. That's been definitely a big thing. And like right now, I still feel stuffed and it's almost 5 o'clock. Fortunately, we have the 4-H meeting, so we'll eat supper late, but there's no way, I don't know, I might be able to eat some cheese or something, like some cheese and some fruit on the way to the meeting, which would be a good snack, but it's going to be challenging. I'm hoping, though, that my appetite grows, because at this point, I want to be basically hitting the full brewer diet by 20 weeks. So I'm trying to get to where, I'm getting my body used to having these snacks. And like, I don't think if you had ever told a Kristen in the past that she would have trouble eating like extra food, extra yummy food, my snacks are always yummy, during the day, that she wouldn't believe you. So it's just crazy. So anyways, that's really physically how I'm feeling, other than just the fatigue, which I feel like is normal. It's not excess this week or anything. And then a little bit more nausea than last week, which is a bit of a bummer. And then just fitting the food in, it's just tough. But otherwise, I feel pretty good. So let's see what else is going on. Oh, I was actually going to show you the diet chart. I said last week that I was going to try and go to the library and get this printed out, because we don't have a color printer. And I did that. I described it for you a little bit last week, but I'm like, it's going to be much better to try and show you. So this is actually the chart. I think it's backwards on your screen, and I apologize for that, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is. It's hard for me to tell looking at it. But so you can see where I actually crossed it off. So I had the librarian print it for me, and it's two-sided, so she printed 2 sheets, and then I brought them home. We have a little laminator that we use for homeschooling use, and I laminated them. But if I hadn't been able to laminate it at home, I'd have asked the librarian if they could do it there, or if she knew where I could get it done. So anyways, I laminated it, which also means I can use dry erase marker on it. The dry erase marker was a little bit of a challenge because I couldn't get it to come off, but I tried using rubbing alcohol and it wouldn't come off, and somebody gave me the suggestion to try like hand sanitizer like Purell, and that worked really well. So that's what I've been using. But as you can see, so like I'll zoom in on the top row here. So, it shows each color is a different exchange on the brewer diet. So these peach colored ones are all a protein. The white are milk. These gold are eggs. Leafy greens, whole grains, and starchy veggies. I haven't had much of that today. Vitamin C, fats and oils, vitamin A, optional liver. And then down here is like water and supplements. And then the credits for who created the chart, which is, you can get it from Informed Beginnings. So I bought a license to this for my mama baby birthing students. I think you can get it for like $5. So from Informed Beginnings website, which I think might be informedbeginnings.com, but I'm not sure. But just look, if it's got their logo, you can get it from them. I really like this. I have a chart. I've had different charts that I've tried over the years. Bradley has a spreadsheet, if you're like a spreadsheet person, which you can download for free from them. And then I've got a chart that I've made for my own students and used, which is based on the Brewer Pregnancy Hotline. But I actually really like this just because A, it's reusable, and B, it's really user-friendly, especially because if you turn it over on the back, so it tells you what options you have in these exchanges. So like all of these are things that will satisfy your dairy exchange. All of these are things that satisfy your protein exchange. And like when you look at how many protein exchanges there are, and you feel overwhelmed. But like if you read this, it's really hard to read this backwards. But so here, 1 ounce of meat. So like my steak last night was a 10-ounce steak. So if that was like 5 servings last night. And actually this was from this morning. I ate the other half of it this morning. So 5 of these were from my steak this morning. Which is, that's insanity. So 1 ounce of meat, I have a video in Mama Baby Birthing where I show this, but like 1 ounce of meat would be like 1 strip of chicken. Like you would think about in a salad where you put chicken strips in. one strip of chicken or one strip of beef, and like a salad where you put steak strips. Like a standard size chicken breast or hamburger, about the size of a deck of cards, is 3 ounces, and that's a typical portion for most people. So like a typical hamburger would fill like 3 of these. So, and then like for beans, so it's 3/8 of a cup of beans. So less than half a cup of cooked beans is a protein exchange. And you want to have it with like rice or something to make a complete protein, rice or nuts or something. But yeah, so it doesn't take a lot to make one protein exchange when it's broken down like this. I was looking. So 3 sardines, 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. That's not very much at all. Cottage cheese is particularly high in protein. But anyways, so, but it gives, it gives ideas for all the groups. So like if you're trying to stay low on the grains, it's got lots of suggestions for starchy veggies. And I actually should look at this because I did have a big salad for lunch. And I should see if any of those would count. But because I had steak and eggs for breakfast, and then I had milk and peanut butter and a couple of dates well, actually the dates might count because that counts fruits too. So the dates might count for my snack. And then for lunch, I had a huge salad with some cottage cheese and some chicken strips in it. So, oh, and actually I didn't mark the cottage cheese on there, so I get to mark off other things. But anyways, so it gives you ideas for what counts. And some things count for 2, like the peanut butter counts in the fat serving as well as for protein. So again, sorry about the color correction, y'all. So this chart is really nice. I really like it. So I wanted to show y'all that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was like how I'm trying to get things back on track, because I feel like I'm in a place where a lot of women are when they're coming out of the first trimester. And that's just like, trying to get things back on track, trying to get things going again, feel like you're getting life back to normal. And so what I decided to do this week was actually pull out a book. This book is called Large Family Logistics. My mom got it for me for the holidays quite a few years ago, actually while I was pregnant with Honor, which was a hard pregnancy, and it really helped. But what I wanted the most in it was, I'm not going to read the whole book again, but what I wanted the most in it is a chapter called Moving Beyond Survival Mode, where she has some tips where if you've just been like kind of surviving and coping, how can you move back to a more intentional daily living? And so that's kind of what I went to. So step 1 is supper and wash the dishes. So, I'm kind of committing to figuring out, okay, what's for supper early in the day without it being kind of a last minute panic thing. And then for washing the dishes, I fortunately do not wash the dishes in my house anymore, but I need to make sure that my kids do a good job. So my commitment with this is, even if I'm not the one who ends up cooking supper, which usually I am, but not always, I've thought about something for supper, and that I'm committed to checking to make sure that they did a good job cleaning the kitchen, even if I'm not the one doing it, because that makes life so much easier for everybody. Then step 2 is find your clothes. So like find outfits so that you can get up and get dressed in the morning. So I'm trying to pick my outfits and also kind of trying to plan. I found a website called Poshmark.com. I wanted to share that with y'all too. So it's Posh, P-O-S-H, mark.com. And it's basically like, to me, it feels like a Goodwill on the internet. And so ladies, like, and gents too, there's kids and men's clothing on there, but they list up clothes that they want to sell. And there's a huge selection. So I've seen a couple others. I know a lot of people have talked about ThredUp. I wasn't really pleased with the selection on there. I didn't find like it had a good selection. Poshmark has a huge selection. Like, I'm really impressed. And a lot of good brands, like high quality, more expensive brands, like ecologically and socially conscious brands that are going to stand up, and, at huge discounts, because ladies are selling them used. I found this beautiful maternity dress that was like $150 new. She has a picture of it. It still has the tags on it, and she's selling it for like $20. I didn't order that one, but I'm tempted to. But anyways, it's like that sort of thing. And so anyways, Cassidy, my daughter, and I have been exploring this concept called capsule wardrobes. And so she and I are kind of thinking that we might work on some capsule wardrobes and go with some carefully selected pieces from Poshmark. Sorry, the sun's coming in really crazy, y'all. So anyways, that's kind of inspired by step 2, which is find some clothes that, you know, she recommends having 7 outfits that you feel really good about, that you really like, so that you can get up and wear those. Step 3 is morning routine, which is what I did this morning, and I'm committed to doing it again. And then she just goes on, you know, evening routine, the yes mom step, where you're teaching your kids that yes, you need to be respectful to me. Afternoon chore time, easy meal plan, taking care of yourself, which has lots of good tips. Anyways, there's a bunch. It goes all the way to step 12. So anyways, it's just like, you know, it's basically just what it says, how to get out of survival mode and feel like you're getting more into things. And so that's, you know, that's one of the things that I'm really trying to work on this week, is getting us out of survival mode and getting us back into where I feel like we're doing things. We're actually on a 3-week break from homeschooling right now because we have Passover starting next week. So another thing, I gotta get my house clean for Passover, and I've been like seriously neglectful of getting anything ready. So we've been really, actually I did a lot of work in here this morning because like we kind of do spring cleaning as we get ready for Passover. Not in that corner, so I'm sorry if you're looking in that corner and going, she cleaned. But behind you, where you can't see, I did a lot of work. So, you know, I'm hoping too that just doing that will make a big difference. We've cleaned some in the front room, like in the desk area. Just cleaning, getting the house whipped back into a baseline normal, getting some routines going without the pressure of school for the next few weeks. And of course, we'll take days off completely next week for Passover. But then my dad will be here too, which is always helpful. He kind of helps me and Scott with keeping the kids online and stuff. And it's all enjoyable to have him. And then we'll move back into the school routine. So I feel like, you know, I've got 3 weeks here to kind of get everything moved back. I'll be 3 weeks farther along, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, so some random thoughts. So I've been able to find the baby one more time with the fetoscope. I shared that I found the baby like the night before I did last week's video. I found the baby one more time since then. I haven't been able to find the baby every time I've listened, which doesn't surprise me. I'm definitely starting to get to that feeling where, okay, I want to be able to find you, baby. But I'm also still just enjoying palpating my uterus. So I will probably try and listen at least daily now. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm expecting that I'll be able to find baby more and more easily. And I'll let you know how that goes. But then I'm also like definitely doing a lot of palpating of my uterus. And so I usually like start at the belly button and feel down. And if you're wanting to feel this on yourself, like where you feel the round hardness. And then I also really like to feel like around the sides and just feel that, you know, that clearly marked area, like where you can feel your uterus. And then like I always feel like, I feel kind of like I can feel where the baby's at in there. I might not be able to, but it's like, oh, maybe there's a little bit more of a lump here, and that's the baby. So that's something really enjoyable for me. And just, you know, just feeling around, feeling the baby, even though I'm not feeling the baby yet, it's mostly just feeling my uterus. It still feels really bonding and like I'm tuned in with me and my little one. I feel like I'm definitely like really showing. I actually feel like at this point, like I'm showing a little bit more than I should be. And I'm trying not to worry about it too much, but I still worry about it some. I'll show you my belly in a few minutes. So my goals for the coming week are, okay, so these are like business goals. Like I'm hoping to get the 40-week series started, which is a series where I'm hoping to have like a week by week like a pregnancy email for you, like you might get from like Baby Center or Just Mommies or The Bump or something. But I want to have it like from a more natural perspective. It's something I've kind of been puttering on for a long time, but I really want to get it going now that I'm going through that myself. And again, I want to work on getting up on time and organizing the house, like I said. So goals are kind of similar to last week, but I feel like I'm a little bit closer getting there. So, okay, so let me show you my belly now, and then I gotta go get ready for this 4-H meeting. So like I said, I feel like I'm definitely showing. Like I felt like I was definitely showing last week, but this week especially. Let me move that a little bit. Okay, so there's my belly. You know, so I mean, I'm not way out there, but I definitely feel like, oh my gosh, I could be like 10 weeks farther along right now with as much as I'm showing. And like, my uterus is like right here. So this is just like displaced stuff and maybe an 8-time mama belly kind of thing. But I'll show you too. I'll go ahead and show you my belly. So here's just a t-shirt. And this t-shirt's too short, so there's the t-shirt. It's my little belly chime there. And then there's the belly. I know the light's bad. So it definitely looks like a pregnant belly now, I think. Which I guess is good because like a couple weeks ago I felt like it just looked awkward. And now it looks more like a pregnant belly. I don't need maternity clothes yet, but I can't button my jeans anymore. Not that I wear jeans too terribly often, but I can't button them when I do. We have had goats kidding. I'll try and maybe show you some baby goat footage at some point, because we have baby goats now. But I had to put on my jeans to go out to the barn, and I had to get my little pregnancy band extender. So anyways, you know, definitely a belly there, but not needing maternity pants. I don't actually need to do anything to my scrubs if I'm going to a birth. Surprisingly, they still fit. I expected that they would stop fitting the soonest because they're like a size small, but they still fit. So that's cool, at least for the duration that they keep fitting. But otherwise, like I said, I definitely feel like I'm showing, sort of feel like maybe I'm showing, trying to stop the sparkle. I feel like I'm showing a little too much, but you know, maybe I'll just embrace it and go with it and be happy about it, because that's better than worrying about it. So with that, I will let y'all go, and I will talk to you next week. Have a blessed week.